No, Hardy avoids.
Oh, God. Those handles in the back.
Cold as ice. And he's willing to sacrifice. Do this.
And now,
cool down.
Santana.
Chill out, baby.
But this match is everything. It's ridiculous and stupid, but it's also really good and thrilling. It makes so much sense. It's just really, really good. They mentioned in it, you know, they've got 18 cameras out there, and they've cut it together and edited it in a way that it's just flawless. I mean, it really is flawless because they've obviously had a chance to do post-production on it, but it's so good. Everyone plays their part so well. There's so many elements to it that are funny. There's a bit just where Jericho picks up a traffic cone and he puts it and he goes, ha, 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 like, oh, I am a witch. I mean,
God, what have we witnessed here?
Super kick. It's good.
you know, any other wrestling match, you'd be like, well, that took me out of it.
Yeah.
And this one is, I mean, just stuff like Hangman Page on his horse.
Yeah, but yeah, so it's all sort of like really exciting, and everyone's like dressed in football gear. You know, this is fucking crazy. This is wild. You know, like Kenny Omega turns up and he's like got little cupping circles because he's been doing his cupping, and then just Hangman Page turns up with a horse.
I know,
and he's quite good at riding.
He is. There are so many bits. There's loads of sort of throwbacks to, you know, stuff that happened recently at that time. So there'd been Sammy Guevara had been famously hit by a sort of golf cart driven by Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega. He'd taken an amazing bump, and so they got obsessed with the idea that Sammy Guevara was always running from things that were trying to run him down. And they do that with the horse, and you later see the golf cart comes in. There's a point where Sammy Guevara has been knocked out, and they turn on a sprinkler, and the sprinkler goes right into his groin. Must be really hurt, and he really sort of like doesn't sell it. And he gets up and he's like, "Oh, I've woken up," and he can't see anyone around. Everyone else has been laid out, and he just goes, "Oh, I'm the winner. I'm the winner. I've won." And then they just have a shot of him looking, and it cuts to that golf cart appearing at the end of the thing, and he just begins running again. I love those sort of bits that reward you. And I think, you know, if you came to this cold, there'd be lots of it that you're like, I don't really understand why they did that. But when you do sort of watch wrestling, you know, throughout, this is the culmination of all those bits. They're throwing you Easter eggs constantly. Yeah. And it just, it's
very nice. It's like The Simpsons. It's like Who Killed Mr. Burns, where it's this event episode that you kind of need to know why this is bad and why he's evil and you know, all that stuff. So this, I mean, the actual, it is a spectacular. It's great.
It's so well worked out. I remember reading about this and just thinking this is going to be another one of those awful cinematic matches. It's going to be full of silly things and stuff that doesn't make sense. And what they do is they just use the environment so well. I would say there has never been a better, you know, using an arena match that's ever happened than this. It's so well thought out.
I mean, just the fact that they've even got a swimming pool to play with. So some people are allowed, so I guess the really posh seats, or maybe you win your way in or something.
It's for plutocrats and their teenage girlfriends to sit in, you know.
Sit in a pool.
Yeah, so they can have a cigar and, you know, the other hand's under the water, isn't it? Foul, revolting men who I've just invented. Don't know why I'm angry with them. Let that go. Jim Ross is an asset here as well because he is that voice of wrestling history and past. And what you're doing here, you've got, you know, 10 men who are young and hungry and in the prime of their careers, taking part in a match we've never seen before for a relatively new organisation. And you have Jim Ross there, which is sort of essentially saying, don't be scared. Come here. This is wrestling. This is wrestling. You don't have to worry about it. And they do fucking wrestle.
Omega bang with the V trigger on Guevara.
Matt Hardy's almost orgasmic. Matt Hardy's almost orgasmic. Matt Hardy's almost orgasmic. Matt Hardy's almost orgasmic.
Matt Hardy's almost orgasmic.
The end part where Kenny Omega puts Sammy Guevara up for a one-winged angel and then it just jumps 15 feet off onto a thing. All of that is great, but it's less impressive than Sammy Guevara's parkour, which he does all up the stadium to get up there. I mean, it's just, he's so like a little sort of, like a spider monkey, like a capuchin monkey with a lady's face. The dream.
But like Matt Jackson jumping off a football, I don't know what you call those, football posts?
Goalposts, they call them.
Goalposts, yeah. Just, wow.
He does his moonsault off.
Very high.
There's just a little bit that I really liked where it was something to do with Jericho shouting at the ref, you're a shitty ref, as well. I was like that.
It was 3. It was 2. He kicked out. I'm challenging the play. You're challenging? I'm challenging. I want to see a replay. We're going to go to the replay. I'm challenging. Come on.
You're going under the hood.
Wrong. It's not a 2. You're not even supposed to be in here. It's not a 2. You're not even supposed to be in here. Come on. They camera was a lie. The call in the field stands. It's a lie. The match will continue. You're a shitty referee. It was 2.
Oh, it's Matt Jackson. He's done suplexes, and this is run throughout. So you cut between the different sort of story elements of it. And in the meantime, Matt Jackson has been doing suplexes on Sammy Guevara, all the way up the thing. And he's by the time you see it, it goes on for a few minutes. You come out and go in again, and he's suddenly on the touchline. And so they're sort of going. He has travelled 100 yards doing suplexes. He gets the thing. He finally gets him onto the touchdown sort of area. He begins celebrating. The ref gives him a yellow card for celebrating, which is unsportsmanlike. And Matt Jackson just super kicks him. And it's just, all that sort of stuff is just like going, you bothered to go. You should do suplexing all the way. And then you went, what happens when you get to the end zone? You go, I do a big celebration. And you go, you know what? The ref will give you a yellow card for that. And then you go, yep, a nice super kick. All that thing. It's a slight thing about, unless you've got a personal investment in this match, that level of detail is never going to happen. And so if you've got people telling you what to do and you don't have total freedom, you do get the impression from this, you have total freedom. And what you have is 10 wrestlers who are all really, really good, who have all had loads of experience. They are getting together and going, what is the best thing that we can do in this environment? And they absolutely 100% hit it. Isn't it fun?
It's so much
Isn't
fun.
it fun?
And the best thing about it, like Jim Ross, who throughout his career has wanted to talk about football. Now he's allowed to talk about football a little, but he barely does.
He barely does. It's absolutely good, isn't it? I mean, a lot of people have been asking us to do more about AEW. In a funny way, there will be people out there who haven't really got into AEW. You can just see it on ITV Player. They've got Dynamite on there. It goes back like 5 weeks and you can watch as much as you want. But I mean, AEW is really, really, really good. And I think it's actually putting out some of the best week-to-week wrestling in the world at the minute. And I think, what's interesting there is if I was Vince McMahon, I would actually be, for the first time, slightly shitting myself. They are showing there's a better way to work. They're showing that you don't have to go to Saudi Arabia, that you can keep on Twitch, you will get paid the same, and you will get total creative freedom. None of that sounds like a bad thing. I mean, I don't want to, creative freedom is fine, but to be honest, if the WWE said, will you come on and do Wrestle Me on the network, but never slag us off, Pete, we'd be on the network.
Oh, we'd be on the network right now. I'd insist on a spot every now and again. I'd insist on being a manager or something.
Yeah.
A valet.
A valet. Look, my point about this is, if you listen to this and you were like, that was interesting, I'd get into AEW. If you work for WWE and you've listened to it to check out the competition, then we are very much available. We are willing to do work. I will slag off the Stadium Stampede till the cows come fucking home. The moment we've signed that deal, don't you worry.
Stupid Stadium Stampede.
Oh God, it was shaped like a sort of mouth, the stadium, and it was gross, and the men were all in the mouth.
If this is what wrestling is now, it needs to die. Leave it alone and let it go. If you can't bring it back and you're just going to fucking piss on the fucking rotting corpse, let it go. Find something else to do with your fucking lives, like I have. Because I'm too embarrassed to be involved with these people or this industry because of shit like this.
Now the world don't move to the beat of just one drum. What might be right for you may not be right for some. A man is born, he's a man of means. Then along come two, they got nothing but the genes. They got different strokes and takes, different strokes and takes, different strokes to move the world. Different strokes and takes, different strokes and takes, different strokes to move the world. Everybody's got a special kind of story. Everybody finds a way to shine. It don't matter that you got not a lot. So what? They'll have theirs and you'll have yours and I'll have mine. And together we'll be fine. 'Cause it takes different strokes to move the world. Yes, it does. It takes different strokes to move the world.
Fuck all of you.